All too often I run across situations like this. You've got a very large tree. It was probably a beautiful shaped Chinese elm tree, had a nice balance all the way around, but the people over on the left didn't like the branches hanging over their property. And these people over here, well, I don't know what the story is, but I see what happened here. It's a very obvious problem. These people over here said, we have the right to cut anything that's hanging over our property. So they did. And what'll happen is all those cuts will sucker out and ultimately the tree will look halfway presentable. But because there is such an imbalance, the right-hand side will grow larger and bigger than it should because the loss of the foliage on this side, and create a one-sided tree. And in the long run, that could very likely lead to this side of the tree being too heavy, possibly pulling the tree down, possibly breaking limbs. But in the long run, it's just, first off, what was done to this side is improper. Second off, it was wrong for the tree. And I think that this idea of cutting along the dotted line because it hangs over my property is something that is really got to be looked into and taken for, I don't know, it's just wrong. It's just wrong. You got to do what's right for the tree, not what's right for what you think is offending you. Little cuts are one thing. Massive cuts, that just screwed up the tree. You know, this could be considered criminal when you do something like this that really affects the health of the tree, the safety of the tree, the likelihood of other branches becoming too heavy and breaking. This idea that you can cut anything that you want that hangs over your property, and the property line is, I'm going to guess, right about here, and there's virtually everything cut back to the property line, and it's not a good quality cut. It's not something that was done by a certified arborist, of course, and it was not something done by a quality tree service. I wouldn't be surprised if there were spur marks on this tree. Well, there actually are spur marks on this tree. Somebody has gone up this tree and done their dirty deed. And I know it wasn't this side that paid for it, but it's their tree.